largest wars recorded in world history. The word war, no matter how small or great, represents the loss and misery that has plagued humanity, especially the loss of territory and life. It also found that there are 10 major bloody wars in the world, the deadliest in history. 10. The American Civil War, 1861 to 1865. The American Civil War was joined by North America and South America to break the slave states that existed in America. An internal war or secession war kept the United States united and abolished slavery law in the United States, but killed up to 800,000 people. 9. The Soviet Union War in Afghanistan, 1979 to 1989. A decade-long war of Soviet-led Afghans with the multinational insurgency called Mujahideen. The war's long run on Afghanistan is thought to have killed 1 million people. Also, billions of dollars in funding for the war is known to come from the United States, the United Kingdom, the United Arab Emirates, and several other countries. 8. The Vietnam War, 1955 to 1975. The Brothers' War between South Vietnam and North Vietnam was known as the Second Indochina War. With North Vietnam fully supported by China and a number of communist countries, and South Vietnam supported by the United States with other anti-communist countries. More than 1 million civilians have been killed in that society. 7. 30 Years' War, 1618 to 1648. This bloody war is the largest religious war, lasting for 3 decades, the longest and most destructive war in European history. The first reason is due to religious factors, including some of the more obscure ones, which push it to the point of becoming politically involved in many Bourbon-Habsburg political parties. 5 million people were killed in the war. 6. Napoleonic Wars, 1803 to 1815. The Napoleonic Wars was a hotbed of war against the Napoleonic War by the multifaceted insurgents. The war began in 1789 with the French Revolution and the countries that had been occupied by Napoleon. In fact, the French powers were quite powerful as Napoleon's army conquered much of Europe, but the war ended in defeat in 1812. In the end, this war killed more than 6.5 million people. 5. Russian Civil War, 1917 to 1922. The war broke out between the Bolshevik Red Army and the White Army, the armed forces against Bolshevik. In the past, the Russian Empire has faced multi-party warfare with foreign troops, such as the Allied forces and pro-German troops, opposed to the Red Army. The war lasted only 5 years but left more than 7 million people dead. 4. Japanese Imperial War, 1894 to 1945. Japanese Emperor was a powerful empire in the world that emerged from the Meiji Restoration Revolution on January 3, 1968. But then there were serious losses after the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, left in World War II until the September 2 surrender. The collapse of the Japanese Empire has left more than 20 million dead. 3. World War I, 1914 to 1918. World War I was one of the bloodiest wars in human history based in Europe, beginning on July 28, 1914. This war involved all the major powers in the world, gathered by 2 opposing allies: the alliances, the Allies, and the Central Powers. The death toll in World War I is estimated at over 50 million. 2. The War of the Mongol Empire, 1206 to 1368. The war began in the early 13th century, a war extending the territory of the Mongol Empire. covering much of Asia and Eastern Europe until the mid-1300s. The attack and invasion of the Mongol territory were the deadliest conflict, reaching up to 60 million people. One. World War II, 1939 to 1945. World War II was a global war that was attended by many world powers and formed to opposing military alliances, such as World War I, between the Allies and the Axis powers. World War II, the largest war in history, directly involved more than 30 countries and even used nuclear weapons in war, killing over 70 million people. This war is the deadliest war in the history of the world.